Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about the pollution of water. We also discussed about the purification of water. We discussed about two methods for the purification of water. These were filtration, and we also discussed about boiling. We learned that by using filtration, we can remove the suspended impurities which are present in water, which is one of the very important purpose for the purification of water, that is to remove the suspended impurities. Another purpose for the purification of water is to kill the germs, means to kill the harmful germs which are present in water. In today's class, we'll discuss about a method in which we'll learn that this method is useful to kill the germs, means to remove the. And it's not only to remove the suspended impurities, but we have to proceed we have to use this process to kill the germs also. So in in the last class we discussed about the purification of water by using filtration, where we learned that by using this we can remove the suspended impurities. We also learned the boiling method by which we can kill the germs by providing high temperature. And here we'll discuss about a very important topic, that is the chemical method for the purification of water. In this method, we'll use a chemical by using which we can kill the harmful germs present in water. So the name of the method is chlorination. So write down this heading: chlorination. So what is chlorination? Chlorination is a method for the purification of water by which we can kill the germs present in water. Now, what is the process for chlorination? What you have to do? But remember, this chlorination is done after removing the suspended impurities, means after filtration. So, by using filtration, we can remove the suspended impurities. But now, the after removing the suspended impurities, the water may contain some harmful germs. Now, what to do to kill the germs, to remove, to purify the water by killing the germs? So here this method is chlorination. So after removing suspended impurities from water, what you have to do? Okay. Water, after removing suspended impurities. Okay. Water, after removing suspended impurities, we have to add chlorine tablets. Chlorine tablets. So what you have to do, after removing the suspended impurities from water by using filtration, we used to add the chlorine tablets in water. What is the function of chlorine tablets here? This chlorine tablets, it behaves as disinfectant. Disinfectant. What do you mean by disinfectant? Those substances which can kill the germs in non-living organisms, in non-living body. And those substances which are used to kill the germs in case of on the surface of the living organism, these are called antiseptic, like Dettol, Suthol, and these are the antiseptics and so on. Disinfectants, they behave and they work like antiseptic, but these are used for non-living bodies. Okay. So chlorine tablets, which is a disinfectant, it is added to the water after removing the suspended impurities. What will happen then? This chlorine tablets, it kill the germs present in water. Okay. Now, after doing this, we can use that water for drinking purpose. So here is the function of chlorine tablet, that is to kill the germs. And this total method is called the chlorination. Okay. Remember, instead of chlorine tablet, we can also, usually it is used, the chlorine tablet is used, or any other substance that can be used for doing this activity, that is bleaching powder. Okay, bleaching powder. The formula of bleaching powder is CaOCl2. Okay, CaOCl2. Its name is calcium oxochloride. Okay, calcium oxochloride. Remember that the actual representation of calcium oxochloride is CaOClCl. This one is the actual representation of bleaching powder, or the formula of bleaching powder. You can remember this one or this one, no problem in this class. So here, what is chlorination? Let me discuss about it again. Chlorination is a method for the purification of water by which we can kill the germs present in water. In this method, after removing the suspended impurities present in polluted water, we add chlorine tablets or bleaching powder in water, which behaves as disinfectant. It helps to kill the germs present within the polluted water. So by this process we can kill the germs, and before we use the filtration to remove the suspended impurities, so by using these two methods simultaneously, we can remove the suspended impurities as well as we are killing the germs. As a result, the water will be fully purified. Okay, by using this method we can purify this water, and this method is called the chlorination. Now a very important information, that is for chlorination we are using a chemical, that is chlorine tablets, which is not so much good for health. Obviously, if it is added to the water in excess amount, that it can also harm us. So we have to use the chlorine tablet in not in a huge amount. Okay, we have to use in a sufficient amount. If we mix or if we add chlorine tablets in a huge amount, excess amount in water, then it obviously harm us. Okay, so remember this one, the chlorine tablets which are added in water for the purification of water, that is to kill the germs, it should be added in a sufficient amount. ओके, एडिक्वेट अमाउंट में हमें इसको ऐड करना है, बहुत ज़्यादा ऐड नहीं करना है. Remember this one, this point is very 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 important. So let me learn from our book, that is this is a chemical method for purifying water. It is done by adding chlorine tablets or bleaching powder to water. We should not use more chlorine tablets than specified. We should use a sufficient amount of tablet, adequate amount of tablet, which will kill the germs, but it will not harm us. Okay. So let me discuss about it in details. Let me discuss about the next process for the purification of water, that is loading. Let me discuss about it. Next one, loading. So here, loading is another method for the purification of water. What is done in this method? Remember, this method is used to remove the suspended impurities from water. In this method, what we have to do? We in a polluted water we have to add alum. Okay, in this method, in polluted water we add alum. What alum is generally it's known as फिटकरी. ओके, फिटकरी ऐसे कुछ बोला जाता है इसको. I think you know about it. Alum. Its formula is K2SO4 dot Al2SO4 3 dot 24H2O. This one is the formula of alum. So this substance is added to polluted water to remove the suspended impurities. What is the process? In this process, the adsorption method is used. Adsorption is a process in which one substance occupy the position on the surface of other substance. मीन्स सपोज आप रास्ते से जा रहे हो, आप बाई चांस धूल के ऊपर गिर गए तो धूल आपके बॉडी के ऊपर लग जाएगा, अंदर नहीं है, अंदर नहीं जा रहा है. तो ये जो ऊपर बॉडी के ऊपर पोर्शन में जब दूसरे सब्सटेंस जगह अपना ले लेते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एब्जॉर्प्शन. व्हेन वन सब्सटेंस ऑक्यूपाई द स्पेस on the or get accommodated on the surface of another substance, but it do not enter within the body of that substance, that is called absorption. What happens in case of this process, that is the polluted water, it contains suspended impurities which are quite smaller in size. As a result, they will not be settled down, by the gravitational force. As the size of the particles is quite less, the suspended impurities which are present in water, they are smaller in size, then what will happen? They will not be settled down by the gravitational force. What will happen then? Then it obviously make the water polluted. So to remove this suspended impurities, first we have to settle down them. What is the process? This loading. Now what we have to do? Here it is. The polluted water, like this one is a polluted water, and this contains some smaller size of impurities. Like okay, I think this one is not visible. Just a minute. Okay, let it. I think the dots are visible here. Okay, fine. So these dots are representing that the smaller impurities which are present in water. Now these impurities are not getting settled down because they are quite smaller in size. So what we have to do? We have to add alum in it. Okay, we have to add alum in it. This one is alum. What will happen? This alum, it will attract the smaller particles towards it. As a result, the smaller particles will be absorbed on the surface of the alum. We are adding the smaller churned particles of alum. हम लोग alum का छोटा टुकड़ा इसमें ऐड करते हैं. What will happen? Look very carefully. This alum that attract the smaller impurities which are present in water. As a result, the smaller particles will be accommodated. I am also showing this here. Here it is. This one is alum. This one is alum. The smaller particles which are present in water, they accommodated on the surface of alum. Now, alum, it was itself a smaller particle, and when it absorbs the other smaller particles, it will become quite bigger particles. means heavier particle, it will be converted into heavier particles. As a result, this heavier particle will be settled down. These heavier particles will be settled down. Now, the small particles which are not getting settled down, now it gets settled down by the action of atom. So, we settle down the suspended impurities. Now, we can remove this impurities at now by using filtration. So after that, after adding alum, after some times, if we filter the water, then the suspended impurities can be removed from the water. Remember, this process is used to remove the suspended impurities also. And mainly to remove the suspended impurities. So this method is known as loading. So let us discuss what is loading. Loading is a method of purification of water. In this method is used to remove the suspended impurities present in water. In this method, in the polluted water, alum is added. The smaller particles of alum is added. The smaller particles of alum, they attract the suspended impurities towards it, and the suspended impurities get accommodated on the surface of alum. As a result, the smaller particle of alum converted into a heavier particles. Now, these heavier particles get settled down by the gravitational force of attraction. So, this settled down impurities can be removed by filtration easily. But before that when the suspended impurities are present in water, they are not getting settled down. तो पहले जब वाटर में सस्पेंडेड इम्प्योरिटीज थे तब वो सेटल डाउन नहीं हो रहे थे, तो उनको हम लोग अलग नहीं कर पा रहे थे. हम लोग अलार्म ऐड किए, अलार्म इनको खींच लिए, अपने ऊपर बैठा दिए, एकोमोडेट कर दिए, एब्सॉर्ब किए. As a result, the particles of alum becomes heavier, and then they will settle down. Now, this settle down suspended impurities can be removed by filtration easily. So, this total method is known as loading. So, in today's class, we discussed about two very important methods for the purification of water. These are chlorination and loading. So we completed the methods for the purification of water. These are filtration, boiling, chlorination and loading. Okay. तो ये चार मेथड को आप लोग अच्छे से करें. इसके बारे में अगर और भी जानकारी चाहिए तो ओबियसली हम लोग रिवीजन के टाइम में इसके बारे में और भी डिटेल्स में जानेंगे और भी डिस्कशन करते रहेंगे. And try to learn all the related questions to it, and we also discuss about the related questions also at the time of revision. Okay, आप लोग इसके बारे में इसको अच्छे से अपने बुक से भी लर्न करें. Thank you.